They've been thawed, but have these former ice cubes found themselves in hot water once again? Find out this week on Hapless Heroes.
Hondo will poke it?
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Hapless Heroes Quarantine Edition. I'm Francesco, and tonight I'm going to continue to be your host and DM as we explore this side adventure that is, I promise you, will tie into our main story.
Promise.
Don't hold promises you can't keep.
No, I can definitely promise that for sure. I'm going to start by introducing my cast, and I'm just going to pretend like they're in directions. So starting on my left, we have Mike as Rovin Tossbottom.
I'm ready to go deep down into this hole.
Oh, God. To his left, we have John as Hondo the Immortal.
What am I even doing here? Where's the alcohol?
And rounding out this band of wacky characters, to his left, we have Dave as Sir Dellum Rook.
Good evening.
So last week, like I said, we've been recording this show from our own houses, and we decided to just, bring some characters back, introduce a new one, and, explore what kind of things are going on in the Shadow Realm, in the Shadowfell. We've encountered two blocks of ice, Rovin and Hondo. That's Sir Dellum Rook, a Shadowkai elf, someone who is native to this particular place, or at least someone who's been living here for a very long time, happened upon them because he was investigating a disturbance on behalf of the Raven Queen or her order. Determined you guys weren't or couldn't have been the disturbance, because what would two idiots like you be of any threat when it comes to the stability of and preservation of the Shadowfell?
I wouldn't call myself an idiot.
Hondo has been known to
Don't
cause
worry,
quite the
I'll do it
disturbance.
for you.
Yeah, but there's a difference between being like a nuisance at like a bar, right, or something, or like in a town, and a nuisance when it comes to like an entire demi-plane, or well, actually just a full-on plane of existence.
Give him time.
So Sir Dellum Rook decided to Shanghai you guys on his own personal quest, because what other option did you guys have, really, besides sit there and freeze once more? You happened upon a pair of mysterious coins that at this point now have both ended up in the possession of Rovin Tossbottom.
Woo!
Despite Hondo's best efforts, yes.
And you guys had ended up at this, there was like a seismic disturbance, and went to check it out. And it appeared like some sort of gigantic spire had collapsed and almost like punched a hole and revealed a cavern in the side of one of the various, mountainous crags that exist here in the Shadowfell, as the terrain here is constantly shifting. You briefly saw another humanoid figure descending into this newly discovered cavern. Well, I would say moments before you guys decided to go after him, but you guys actually stayed and looted the area first for a bit, and ended up fighting some weird, horrible undead creature that was stuffed into a barrel.
Yeah.
And you guys
Gotta make sure.
eventually descended. You ended up at these doors, and we're gonna actually start the episode with you guys right in front of those double doors, pushing them open. So you guys are kind of in this it was like a stone cavern that had the entryway here, and the doors open themselves freely, and it just reveals a very dark cavern. In fact, at this point, it has gotten so dark that both Hondo and Rovin, without dark vision, cannot see a thing.
I immediately pull out my tinderbox and set flint on fire to set my hooded lantern alight.
Your hooded lantern? Or are you
My hooded lantern.
Are you going to be keeping the hood on, or are you taking the hood off?
I'm going to be taking the hood off.
Okay. You have illuminated the cavern around you. Now, Hondo, you still don't have a light source, so I just want to point that out. So you're going to have to stick pretty close to Rovin in order to see anything.
Hondo does have torches. I suppose, being untrusting of everyone else, he would also light one.
Okay, so just so you guys are aware, right? Both of your, you guys both have one hand occupied with a torch.
That's correct.
Okay. So yeah, the torches are lit. Sir Delam Rook's eyes adjust to the actual light now. And yeah, there's a hallway in front of you. It stretches about 50 feet before hitting a turn that goes sharply to the left.
So Hondo would start moving forward.
Okay.
Rovin would move behind him.
And Sir Delam Rook, where are you in all of this?
I don't mind bringing up the rear, for if no other reason that while my orders my nightly order has a good number set of regulations to it, as the goddess of death would have, it's surprisingly vague on the topic of cannon fodder.
So really just send the expendables ahead. And
Send, allow. I didn't
allow
send
the
anything. They're already
expendables to
going.
ahead. All right, so I guess we're gonna arrange you guys so you're about 5 to 10 feet apart from one another.
That sounds about right.
Okay. Well, Hondo, you're
He'll have his weapon at the ready as well, in the
Sounds
form of
good.
a greatsword.
in the form of a bracelet.
I also, in my other hand, Rovin has his dagger ready to go.
Okay. Hondo, do you have anything unsheathed as a one-handed option?
All I really would have as an option is my javelin. My
Okay.
sword is two-handed.
So I mean, you can wield the javelin like a spear.
Yeah, sure, doing that.
Okay. Great. Well, Hondo, you're in the front. So what do you do?
I would keep going.
Okay. So let's say you reach the corner. And you're staring right now at a set of doors, similar to the ones you entered in to get into this curved hallway. They look like just big stone doors with just what actually looks like almost like a circular pattern, like just carved into the center. With like the center itself, kind of depressed a bit more than the embossed like circle shape. So it's like a donut almost.
Okay. Hondo will walk forward and put his torch on the ground in front of the door.
The torch is next to the door. And you said you're pushing the door open, Hondo?
Not yet. I'm waiting for everybody else to kind of show up behind me.
Rovin moves to the corner.
All right.
Yeah, Sir Rook is just staying, optimum social distancing spacing away behind.
So topical, Dave.
It's all I've got.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Hondo, it looks like it's still your show.
So Hondo can't see Sir Delam?
You cannot from where you are standing. No, he seems to be still around the corner from you, taking up the rear.
Hondo will shout back to him, "What am I doing this for you for?"
Do you prefer the ice block?
Maybe.
I mean, we can arrange it.
Hondo will take out his sword and kind of try to shoulder the door open.
Okay, so yeah, you have your sword equipped. You almost shoulder press the door open, And while there is some mild resistance because it's a very heavy door, it opens without consequence. It opens up into a much larger chamber. It's probably about 45 feet by 20 feet. It extends 20 feet ahead of you and then goes about 45 feet in either direction before you see a couple different features. To your left, there is about a 15-foot opening that essentially opens up into another hallway that curves sharply to the right. To your right, there is a set of doors, about 25 feet away. And then on the wall opposite from you, slightly to the right, it's not centered, is another set of double doors.
Hondo would do a perception to see if there's anything dangerous in the room.
Yeah, give me a quick perception check. Just give you, what's your little scan of the room?
Not great. That's an 8.
All right. I mean, nothing about this room looks dangerous to you. It looks old. The air in here is very musty, and actually, it definitely feels like it's slightly wet. The halls themselves are actually like rough stone that have been sort of arranged and flattened on the ground, and the walls are similar, where it's just sort of like this cobbled, definitely carved, and smoothed, but it's all just rock and stone in here. Everything is slightly humid, like a little wet, but not like just like cave wet.
Rovan moves behind Hondo.
Okay.
And Sir Dellenwork will follow suit then.
Sounds good. All right. You guys enter the room?
Yeah, Hondo will enter the room and move to the left.
Okay. Do you bring your torch with you, or do you leave it by the door?
I'll leave it by the door.
Okay.
Rovan will accompany him up to the entrance of the room.
All right, Hondo. So you can see that the hallway just kind of extends. There doesn't appear to be a door when you turn there. It looks like it kind of just curves off, but you can't really see too far around there yet because you're still kind of standing, in that main antechamber.
I'll go up ahead of Hondo to just kind of like light it a little bit more so that we can see.
It's a good plan. All right.
And then Sir Dellenwork will enter the room and just look to the right of the door then.
Okay.
I guess I'll move up a little bit farther.
All right. Yeah. So you kind of extend. You kind of go up to to like what would be your left, which is actually like we'll just call this the northern part of this chamber. And you can see that wide opening, curves sharply to the east, and it's just another long hallway that kind of goes on for a little ways, probably just to the edges of what your torch will illuminate.
Cool. So I let Hondo know that it's just a hallway. There's more to go, but I can't see until we go a little farther.
Hondo will turn to Sir Dallum and say, "Which way do you suggest?"
I would say that your guess is as good as mine. If we have an opening to our left, though, we should best cover it before we move on.
Would you like to take the lead, seeing as you are the only one who has dark vision?
Well, if I have to take matters into my own hands. And Sir Dellenwork is going to turn that way, sigh, sling his great sword over his shoulder, and casually walk that way. And then we'll just make ourselves just to the corner and peeking around.
Okay. So yeah, the hallway does extend. It's about a 60-foot long hallway. Like at the edge of your vision, you can see it curves to the right. So it heads. So it from heading east, and again heads south.
Hondo will follow him.
Okay. Now, do we have Sir Dellenwork in the front? Do you continue down the hallway?
Well, I'm not going to get anything done just standing here, am I?
For the so I'm gonna just describe to our audience real quick before you move your little pieces around. I'm gonna put yourself back there. So audience, we are using Roll20 as a means to visualize some things. So what I'm gonna have these fellas do, just for a couple things today, I'd like for you to kind of show me square by square the path you take through this hallway for no particular reason.
Of course not.
Uh-huh.
So Delamrook advances 5 feet forward, and is fine.
So Delamrook is going to advance another 5 feet, and then he's going to look around to perceive what he sees.
Before you do that, Sir Delamrook, I would like for you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no!
As the
10 on the die.
as the floor collapses beneath you, you fall into a 30-foot pit, and you take
30-foot pit.
11 bludgeoning damage as you hit the ground below.
Ooh.
And no one can see you anymore.
Oh, because he's down in the hole.
Yep, you just saw him. Oh, thud.
Rovan steps up to the trap.
Mm-hmm.
So he obviously steps on the square that he had saw Rook step on earlier, so he knows it's a safe square. And he takes out his 50-foot rope.
Sounds good, and you lower it down to Sir Delamrook.
I do, but I then turn to Hondo and say, I'm probably not strong enough. I'm going to need you to pull on this rope.
Hondo agrees.
Are you going to help him, Rovan?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I just know I can't do it alone.
No, that's fine. So, Hondo, using your strength, you're going to roll at advantage to pull up Sir Delamrook.
Yep. Good thing I had advantage. I got a 21.
Or else you would have had
Hooray.
a nat 1. Yeah, 21 will totally do it.
Cool.
Sir Delamrook, you have now been pulled up, and we're just going to say that you are on the square adjacent to. Let's kind of do it this way, to Hondo. And you're okay now. You're a little banged up from falling down a pit. You can tell that this was definitely designed, and the stone here inside this pit and trap looks more new and fashioned than the weathered stone around you.
So that's the sort of day this is going to be, is it? Sir Delamrook was grumbling like a crotchety old man the entire way up this rope, too. Not complaining at any of these people, just at the inconsiderate ass who designed this dungeon in such a way.
Hondo will pat Sir Delam on the back and say, second attempt?
Is it like you're
Hard
going
to
to
take the walk yourself.
Hondo would like to do an investigation for if he can find any other traps.
Where are you investigating?
The blocks. How many blocks ahead of me can I look?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like you probably can only inspect what's around
one
you.
at a time.
What's actually around you. So I'm gonna say within that 5-foot square around you. So anything adjacent to you, you can probably inspect for traps.
Okay. Is that only one block then?
So you can essentially in one check, I would say that you get all squares adjacent to you. So essentially a 5-foot square, right? A little radius around you is what you're going to be investigating for traps.
Okay. So I will check. I will stand because Sir Delam is to my left, right?
Correct, and he's safe.
So I would like to stop on his spot.
Tell Sir
And
Delam to
then-
get the hell out of the way.
Yeah.
And then investigate
Right
the one
ahead of
in
you.
front of me.
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
I got a 23, I think.
Yep.
I think. We rolled twice.
Yeah, it looks solid as hell.
All right, well, I'm going to step on that next one.
Okay.
Do I have to keep investigating every step?
You're goddamn right.
Well, if this is what you want this hallway to be, then this is what you're going to have this hallway be.
All right, I'm hoping that it only rolls once this time, or I could just take the better of the two if
Just
it
take the
doesn't
first.
turn out wrong again. 13.
Looks pretty solid.
Hondo will continue to walk forward to the next one.
Yep, you're still okay. Nothing bad happens, right? Your investigation appeared to be successful.
All right, I'll try it one more time. Of course, as has to happen per the laws of nature in D&D.
And this,
I
and this
rolled in
podcast.
that one.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
looks completely solid.
Which one? The one in front of me?
Both of them in front of
Wait,
you.
did we
Oh.
investigate to the audience what it was, or did we just strongly imply what it was?
No,
No, it
he
was
said
in
that
that
one.
one.
He
Yeah,
said
I
he
said
said
that.
that one.
Okay.
All right. So I guess I'm going to jump.
I'm sorry, no, because your best judgment tells you that this is solid as hell. So why would you
Yeah.
jump?
No, forward.
Oh, you're just gonna advance
I
forward.
am extremely confident that this next one is the sturdiest of all blocks.
Yep. The entire section of the hallway collapses beneath your feet, and then you need to
Awesome.
make a
Cool beans.
dexterity saving throw, please.
Cool beans. +0.
So yeah, that like 10 by 5 section of the hallway just literally collapses down. So like,
Yep.
yeah, creates like a pit that blocks the way. And
Can Hondo use his human determination to roll that at advantage?
yes, yeah, your little feat that gives you advantage once per short rest, I think it is.
Hey, 17.
17 definitely allows you to hop backwards and avoid a certain terrible fall.
Good. That was the goal.
Rovan runs forward past Hondo and leaps over the hole in the floor.
Yeah, and you are, like just across from the hole, right on, and or like that larger pit, and yeah, you land on your feet, totally fine.
Cool.
So he ended up on the right.
Yep.
The left.
East.
Yeah, I see. He's in the northernmost of the two on this like 10-foot wide hallway.
Okay.
So there's still an empty position south of him, but you can't fit more than 2 by 2 in this hallway. This is easy enough for these pits are easy enough for both of you to leap over. You know what I mean? It doesn't require a tremendous amount of effort to get there.
I also want to remind everybody that I am. I have. Where is it? I know I just read it somewhere. Where I can take up the same space as a
Oh yeah, you're a halfling.
being larger than me.
Yeah, you're a halfling.
You both can actually get over here with me standing there.
Only one person can be on the same square as you. That's larger than you.
Well, right, but there's 2 squares.
Right. Yeah.
So one can take up the square next to me, and then one can take up the same square.
Sure, absolutely. I will say, for your information, though, you do not know if any of the other squares adjacent to you are safe. You only know.
That's true. No,
That's what I was
exactly.
gonna say.
Listen, I'm just saying what I know.
Hondo's definitely going to take that.
I will do a sidestep
Oh.
and move down to
Not
the
even.
south.
He's not even a check for traps.
South
He's
tile.
literally just
Nope.
gonna try to move there. Yeah, you're fine,
Correct.
Rovan.
There you go. Come on over, guys.
What confidence this man has.
Hondo will again jump, this time to a block that he knows is safe.
Yep, you totally do that. What about you, Rook?
Sir Delamrook is going to walk to the space behind Rovan. And all right, gangway. And he's going to wait just a moment after that, and then he is also going to leap across onto the space where Rovan would be.
You totally do that. At this point, Hondo has left his torch behind.
Yep.
You probably have at least one more on you.
Oh, I have a couple more.
Okay. So, What's the next move, fellas? Who's going to make the next move?
Rovan moves forward.
Rovan successfully moves forward.
Rovan moves forward again.
Rowan successfully moves forward.
Rovan moves forward again.
Yep, everything's good here.
Great, and he goes to the corner.
And you do that. To your
Great.
right, you see that the hallway extends. Another probably about 35 feet before it opens up again to another chamber. And then right at the edge of where your torch can see, you can see that there's a set of double doors, at the southern end of the room you're looking into.
Cool.
You just barely make it out because it is, the light does dim as it gets out, beyond 30 feet.
There's another room over here, guys. Let's go.
Is it possible for Hondo to make it past?
You guys, yeah, you can move.
Dalum?
I would say you can move diagonally, right, and take the same path that Rovan took.
Okay, I do that.
I would assume that Sir Delum Rook does something similar.
So Delum Rook will casually stroll to the corner. Yes.
Okay. Who's making
Well,
the next move?
Since I've been the brave one, I'm gonna just keep going.
Yeah. You can do that. At this point, just move yourself where you want to go.
Okay. I'll go all the way to the end.
Sounds good. So yeah, this room here. Again, in here, this room is a lot less plain than the initial large antechamber you went into. I would like.
So Delum Rook will follow him around the corner. By the way.
Sounds good. Rovan, could you make me just a perception check, please?
Yes. I can. There it is.
All right.
18.
Great. So see that on the western side of the room, there's another set of double doors, kind of kitty corner to the ones directly across from me on the southern end.
Mm-hmm.
And there is also on the walls here many different faded frescoes depicting what appears to be lines of shadowy figures being shepherded down a long path and being led to what appear to be these large boats. And you can see that there is a gigantic figure, almost godlike, just massive, looking over them. And you can see that in its hands is depicted a set of scales, and its arm is skeletal that's holding it up.
So the frescoes that I'm looking at,
it's sort of a mural that's painted around the entire room.
Sure, but I don't notice anything extra gems or things protruding from the frescoes.
No,
frescoes?
Nope. It's just faded after many years. Also, you're in the Shadow Realm, and like I said, the Shadow Realm is kind of what is sort of like a mirror or a twisted mirror of what exists on the prime material plane somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, this appears to be what almost something you akin to what you'd see in a ruined or a temple or some kind of religious site.
Sure.
Hondo will walk up, take a swig of whiskey, and say, "Oh, this isn't creepy at all." And then he'll investigate the wall to the west.
So yeah, there's a door there.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like similar set of stone doors that you've seen elsewhere in this chamber.
Sir Delum Rook is going to move at least a couple of steps into the room. And what sort of check should he be making to determine whether or not that skeletal figure is, as I, the player, suspect, is iconography of the Raven Queen?
Give me a religion check, please. Or history. I'll give you history, too.
Yeah, we know what that was, folks. That's a natural one.
Okay. This isn't any religious depiction you recognize at all, or anything that you can recall from anything you've read. You've been pretty devoted. You're more like a Raven Queen fanboy, and this doesn't line up with any of the fanfic you've read.
I've seen her. She looks nothing like this. It must obviously be from something else.
Would any of the other characters here be at all inclined or would even be curious about that at all? I'm just
No.
curious. Okay.
About the fresco? Mm.
Yeah, like okay, it's fine. It's fine. I just wanted to, make sure that I wanted to give anyone else, another opportunity to understand. But if we don't know, we don't know.
I'm gonna go. Rovin's gonna go to the other set of double doors and check for.
So the ones to the south.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry. And see if they're locked or anything like that.
Sure. So a quick glance does show that there is no keyholes or knobs, right? There just appears to be somewhere you can push. But give me an investigation check on the door.
Oh, that's yeah.
You guys are on fire tonight.
Well, I don't have good investigation, which seems odd for a thief, but it is what it is.
That's fantastic. Yeah, no, it looks like a pretty normal door.
Okay,
I
I push
set of
it.
commands to get Roll20 to switch out to a different set of virtual dice.
Right.
Yeah, you can't shame the Roll20 dice, right? You said you pushed the door, Rovin?
I do.
The moment you press your hand to the door, I need you to make me, why don't we call it a dexterity saving throw.
Cool. Good. Boom.
Oh.
21.
Your hand recoils as you almost feel like this magical force like repel it back. You feel like if you had pushed any harder, if you weren't quick with your hands, like something like this the outcome could have been more explosive.
Okay. There's something magical on this door.
That's great. Do we want to double back and check what's behind us?
Well, let's
Why don't we go
hold
through the
on
door you're
for
next?
just a moment. And Sir Delamrook uses a mage hand, which in this case would look like a inky black, kind of smoky, but it's a very decrepit, almost skeletal looking hand. Very similar, ironically, to the skeletal hand in the fresco there. And he will use it to push on the door with all.
Rovin takes a step back before that happens.
That's a great call, Rovin. You are a smart man.
Yeah, Sir Delamrook totally was not waiting for anybody to move, so.
Nope.
Yeah.
Your mage hand presses the door, and the 10 pounds of force it applies is not enough to open the door. However, it is enough to have the mage hand itself propelled back 40 feet.
What's you?
Great sound effect, John. I'm going to keep that.
Instead of calling it back to my position, I immediately just discard it into the ether and summon another one.
Right, because you can.
And do the same thing. Just keep sacrificing your hand.
That's the definition of insanity, John.
It's
It
also
is
the
not
definition of scientific
insanity.
rigor.
Right.
But is Sir Delamrook a man of scientific rigor?
No, Sir Delamrook, however, is a man of how best to
Stubbornness?
say this? Yeah, irascibility, stubbornness.
Pragmatism?
No, mostly he's just really bullheaded. So he's going to send it back there and try to shove again with it.
Yeah, I mean, the same result happens. It's repelled back. And there's sort of like that like concussive sort of sound that John had so aptly. Yeah, perfect.
Did my investigation my investigation count towards? Did I do one for the room? I didn't.
You didn't perceive anything in the room or investigate anything in here. You just looked at the door that you're standing in front of on the western wall.
So I would like to investigate that door before I try to open that one.
The one that you're by, right? Not the one that they've been trying to.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Go for it.
God damn.
Looks like a door.
8.
Looks like a door.
Hondo will try to open that door.
It opens.
Huzzah! Is there anything in this room?
It is a hallway that leads to another set of double doors.
Now, Hondo believes that this might be a quicker escape route if we were to need one, but he wants to not fall into a hole. So he will do another investigation to see if this bridge or what this hallway is safe to cross.
Sure. I'll give you a perception there.
Much better, 22.
It looks like a pretty standard fair hallway. However, you can see that in the door across, right? And probably if you had investigated the other one when you were in the initial antechamber, there is a keyhole in it.
Oh, Hondo. Now, Hondo can still see a little bit past where Rovin's lantern goes, right?
Yeah. So I have it set up so that you see his light. So anywhere that Hondo can see right now is what is being illuminated.
I will move closer so he can see better.
Okay. Hondo will go try to pick the lock.
Yeah, not even trusting the rogue to do it because you have thieves' tools and you are also proficient in them because it's fucking hilarious.
I mean, yeah, come on. I'm a bounty hunter. I got to be able to do this kind of stuff.
And yet, I have already stolen something from him that he didn't even.
Yeah, the mysterious coin.
Stole it from you first.
Yeah, because I was in a block of ice, I really didn't have preventing you.
All right, so I'm going to use my thieves' tools. Am I using dexterity or am I using strength?
This would be dexterity.
Okay, that's way weaker for me.
I know.
Oh, nat 20.
Oh yeah, like this is something you've done a million times before. You easily
Because he has.
are able to unclasp the simple lock that is holding these shut, and you are able to open up the doors, and it does lead into that antechamber you guys entered in from.
Hondo will go back to get his torch and
Okay.
bring his torch into the middle of that hallway
Okay,
and leave it there.
you do that.
And then I'll enter back with the group.
Just moving your light source. This is great. I actually liked being able to actually play with light with you guys because now we can
Yeah.
just see how valuable dark vision is and how much we've taken it for granted.
It's true.
Okay.
Okay,
rem-
so there was another set of double doors in the original chamber.
That is correct.
Okay, so since this door is unable, we can't get through it. Let's go investigate the other one.
There's not another door to our east? Is that not a thing?
No, there is no door to the
No.
east. This is just
Okay.
it is just a solid wall.
I'm going to go down the little pathway,
Hondo will follow.
and I am going to potentially attempt to open this set of doors.
So the southern set of
southern,
doors
yeah, in the first
in the main antechamber.
chamber.
Yep, the entry chamber or whatever. Okay. Just gonna try to open them.
Well, is there a lock or anything that I notice?
Doesn't appear to be.
And it's just like a push door like the other one?
Yep, looks similar to the other ones you've seen.
I will attempt to push open the door.
Make me a dexterity saving throw.
Woohoo!
You attempt to recoil your hand, but you weren't as quick this time, and a concussive blast knocks you back 40 feet. And you take 6 force damage.
Okay, so I'm gonna I have uncanny dodge, so
Mhm.
I'm going to have that damage.
Halved.
Half it, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you take 3 force damage then.
Sweet. I mean, not sweet, but
While this
at
is
least it's less
happening,
damage.
sorry. While this is happening, Sir Delamrook sighs heavily and proceeds to casually stroll down the hallway. So when he's about here, maybe in the middle of the hall, just past the torch, he sees Rovin go zing by.
Yep, and you hear another concussive blast as that happens.
I like that Dave just laughed in Delam's F.
Of course.
Well, yeah, that was
Dylan is
intentional.
laughing.
He is.
Rude.
Hondo will investigate the door
Go for
to
it.
see if there's like a trap or anything, or mechanic that would
Sure.
unlock it.
Yeah, absolutely.
21.
You see that in the center, between in the gap between the two doors, there is what looks to be a very small circular depression.
Hondo will poke it.
Make me a dexterity saving throw.
All right, that did not work. Crap. 6.
Okay, you are blasted back.
Mm-hmm.
40 feet. And you take 9 force damage.
Of course I do. Why wouldn't I? Hondo will turn to Sirdelum and say, do you have a method to poke a little hole?
So this circular depression is probably only about 1.5 to 2 inches in diameter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Something about 1.5 to 2 inches in diameter?
Around.
Around.
Perfectly circular.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Wow.
out of character, would it be about the same size as one of those mysterious coins?
Maybe.
Do you say that out loud?
No, I said that out of character.
Okay. Yeah, without the accent?
Yes.
That's how we know when you're in character, man. You just talk in the voice.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Would Hondo make that connection?
I don't know. Make me an intelligence check, I guess.
Can I do an insight?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, this matches that coin that you totally still have in your possession, Hondo.
So Hondo's gonna pat himself down looking for the coin.
Yeah, you can't find it.
Knowing that Rovim has at least one of the coins, he will turn to him and say,
No, you.
put-
Oh yeah, you do know that because you did take
I
the other
saw
one.
him
Right.
get one. I saw
Yeah.
him pick one up. I just assume that the other one's like one of those pennies you lose in your pocket for like a month and it shows up way later. So Hondo will turn to Rovin and say, that looks like it's about the same size as that coin we found. Why don't you try that?
Why do I have to use my coin?
I can't seem to find mine.
Well, isn't that convenient?
Hondo will grab him by like the back of his neck and push him forward to use his coin.
Oh.
Use you?
Rovin, do you resist?
Yes.
Make me competing strength rolls.
Oh,
Oh wow, really?
you got a good shot on this one. I only got an 8.
So I would just use.
Just
Like-
click on the word strength on your
Yeah,
character sheet.
I got it.
Yes!
Yes!
He beats
He
the
got a
8
9.
with a 9.
I got a 9.
Rovin, you're able to kind of like get his hands off of you. He can't like grapple you to like do what he wants with you.
That's okay.
Mike, I'm talking to Rovin.
I know who you're talking to. I will do it at my own accord. Thank you very much. And
But
he
does.
he
do
kind of like he stands about as tall as he can.
Which is like what,
Me.
3 feet tall?
Yeah, fuck you. And then he struts up to the door. Oops.
You strut up to the door.
I strut up to the door. I put the coin, one of the coins, into the slot.
It fits perfectly, and you see that as soon as it fits in, it almost like fuses to the door, and you see that almost like this like sort of beam of greenish light.
Greenish,
Greenish
right.
light.
Thank you. Splits the door like through like the little crack that's there in the center, and it actually cuts the coin in half, and the doors slightly push themselves ajar forward in front of you.
Looks like you lost your coin.
I mean, you actually lost a coin, so I don't know what you're trying to say here.
I'll find mine.
Mm-hmm.
So what you see in front of you now, there's like a cavern that actually is illuminated with a very, very dim, like blue hue, and you can hear the sound of water rushing.
Okay.
Ahead of you, I think that your light, that your light kind of extends, and you also see that illuminated by this cavern is a bridge, like a stone bridge, that's kind of like arched and elevated slightly. And on the other side of that appears to be another hall, and then the cavern kind of goes off to the, like kind of angled, so it's heading like northeast and southwest is kind of what this cavern is sort of curved into, a very slight grade. More like east by northeast and west by southwest.
Hondo will enter, seeing the different paths, and he will say, I bet you that one goes back to the other door. And he's pointing to the one that goes to the northeast.
Sir Delamrook, do you advance?
Yes, Sir Rook is going to advance around the corner, and he's going to be, I'd say, about kitty corner behind Hondo, where he'd be on the west, he'd be on the east end of the hall.
I would like for
About
you
5
to
feet
make
behind.
me a history or religion check at advantage, please.
There we go. Oh, you got to be kidding. Like, I really want some new dice in here. What the hell?
You are the worst historian.
You know, I was more fishing for a 1 because anyone who has ever lived anywhere remotely close to the plane of shadow knows this as the mythical river Styx. This is where all the souls of the dead are transported from living to whatever lies beyond.
Right here. Localized entirely in this hallway at this hour.
No, this is definitely just either a tributary or just an extension of it. The river Styx is quite long.
Great, a Styx tribute band.
And you know that this river extends below and all through the shadow plane, spanning across multiple realms within the shadow plane. Like there are tributaries and all, you know, that essentially go from every. When I say realm, I mean like even we're talking like planets and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like to the you know the underworld essentially.
So don't fall in it, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and now, Sir Rook, I mean, you've learned about this ever since you were a child. I mean, this is something that many fables reference, but this is you'd never would have ever thought that you would have ever seen this for yourself. You can definitely tell where that musty, wet smell and like feeling is coming from. Is like, it's actually almost slightly warmer in here, especially compared to how frigid it is above ground. And sort of created this very humid environment in this cavern. But it definitely smells stale and wet.
I have to be warmer. Imagine if this river froze. And what kind of trouble would we be in? Oh. So Sir Delamrook is going to advance to the corner and look over the glory and majesty of this Our Lady's River.
So the waters themselves actually look to be flowing very, I wouldn't say, at a very fast pace. And while the waters themselves are this sort of crystal blue, you can see wisps of white light, like darting and shooting through the waters. And that's kind of what's creating this glow, is the water itself doesn't appear to be illuminated, but all of these wisps are sort of illuminating it as they travel quickly down its path, it seems to be flowing to the southwest. However, you notice though that the waters themselves, I mean, it's like I said, they're flowing fast and they are erratic, right? And the waters themselves begin to swell and disturb, and you almost feel them calling to you. Something that even most humans would know as the phenomena of the call to the abyss, where it's just like you feel this undeniable draw to surrender your soul to, its next destination. And as you're kind of inspecting and looking over the majesty of these waters, you can see that some of the wisps begin to coalesce and stop moving. And they kind of shoot forth out of the water, and 4 ghosts appear.
Yeah.
Ghosts!
Ghosts!
And they are screaming at you, wanting to taste life once more. These are souls maybe not ready to move on, maybe desperately seeking another shot at life, but they immediately move in to attack. And we are going to roll initiative.
Hooray!
Well, even with your shitty rolls,
Oh, wow.
you guys are all still going first. So we're going to start with Sir Dellum Rook. You are staring at 4 ghosts who are now floating above the river Styx, hovering around the bridge. There are 3 to the west of the bridge and 1 to the east.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna take a quick look, see what I've got here.
I mean, the furthest one from you is only 25 feet still. So they're all well within range of most things. However, they're all floating over the water still. So it would be impractical to, try to walk over to them without falling into the river yourself.
Let's see. I've got plenty of options here. It's just which one I want to use. Oh, Cone of Cold should do the trick.
Ooh, you're doing...
So let's see, a 60-foot cone. But how wide is this 60-foot cone?
I mean... Hold on, let me get the ruler out.
Even if I have to take like a little side step a couple to the side to make sure that our dude on the furthest right of the map gets included.
You could get them all in that 60-foot cone.
Okay, then let's see. Ooh, cast at what level? Level 5, because that's all I got.
Okay, you cast your Cone of Cold. They have to make, looks like a con save.
DC 15.
Except, unfortunately, it doesn't matter because they are immune to cold.
Oh, shit.
Womp, 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 womp.
But I'll make it anyways. They would fail.
It doesn't matter.
They fail to save. Do any other effects happen besides the potential damage?
Nope.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, you're gonna have to burn that slot, and they all completely resist all of that cold damage. Okay, so we are now on to Hondo's turn. Hondo, unfortunately, you see Sir Dellum Rook blast this amazing Cone of Cold, but the ghosts are still exactly where they were before, completely unscathed. What do you do?
But it looked cool, old boy. And Hondo... Can Hondo walk forward and hold an action until he can actually hit them? Because he can't reach them.
You might be able to reach one of them if you are standing at the apex of the bridge, which is exactly at the edge of your movement.
But I would be able to hit it or swing
Yes,
at it?
I think you have
Okay.
literally one that you might be able to try to swing at if you were to go up there.
Yeah, Hondo will do that. Hondo will swing at the ghost with his sword.
It's a magical sword.
Yeah, sure.
So, yeah, sure.
One attack is a 26,
That will hit.
which that's not a crit. What is that?
You rolled a 18 on the die.
Oh, so close. So then how do I do the damage for that? Tap it again. 12 slashing damage.
Okay. It takes 12 slashing damage.
A second attack is a 24 with 11 slashing damage, and the third attack, because I do 3, is a 15.
15 actually hits too.
Wow. 12. So that
Okay.
is a total of 35 slashing damage.
Okay, the ghost makes a horrible noise.
And looks at me.
Looks at you and is just shrieking like hell.
Cool.
At you.
Yep.
And we move on to Rovin.
Rovin takes his 20. He's going to move up 20 feet behind Sir Rook. And he attempts to hide behind him.
Okay, use your cunning action to do that. Yeah, I mean, you are so freaking hidden with the 32 on your stealth check.
Oh my god.
I am a very stealthy person.
Yeah, you are very much not seen.
So question, just for clarification. So if I moved up and then I have an action, I can hold that action, right?
Mm-hmm.
Using my cunning action as my bonus action. So
right. So you
I'm
can
gonna
hold
hold.
you can hold an action as a reaction essentially to use.
Right. So I'm going to basically, in my attempt to hide behind Delam Rook, I'm going to crouch in a position where I can then kind of jump out at him and stab anything that comes at us.
Okay. Yeah. So anything that moves into melee range, I will let you use your reaction to make a sneak attack against.
Cool.
Okay. We are now onto the ghosts. The one that Hondo just viciously attacked and almost completely obliterated is you're gonna see almost like its wispy form attempt to enter Hondo. Hondo make Hondo make me a charisma saving throw.
Charisma. Oh, surprisingly, actually not really that surprisingly, charisma is not that strong for Hondo. But I still roll an nat 20!
Oh, nice. Wow.
We've been hitting a lot of gnats.
That's fantastic. So its attempt to possess you failed. And you are now immune to this particular ghost's possession attempts for the next 24 hours.
Cool
Nice.
beans.
But only that ghost out of the
Yeah, there's
other
3 other ghosts.
That might try to enter me.
that might try to enter you. That is correct, yes.
Ooh.
I feel like we could phrase that differently, but okay.
Mhm.
I don't know. We'll just play change melody in the background and have it serve as its own double entendre.
Two of the ghosts. Another ghost is going to surround Hondo, and two of the ghosts are going to move towards, well, what only they would see as Sir Delam Rook. One moves directly adjacent to him where Rovin could try to stab it.
And he does!
Stab it.
He does make
Hold
the
on.
attempt.
Attempt to stab
I'm
it.
using my dagger, because that's what I have unsheathed.
And you have an advantage, or what's this? What's the sneak attack?
He's got an ally within 5 feet, so you're fine. 23 will definitely hit.
And the damage is 23 on sneak attack with an extra 8 in piercing damage. So that would be 31 piercing damage.
Magical
Oh,
piercing damage, too. So,
Woo!
Magic.
yeah, that ghost really is reeling from that hit. And is looking pretty fucking terrible. So, but it's still alive.
Kind of alive.
Well, okay, it's still undead.
Dead. It's still dead.
It's unliving. It's still living in its unliving. And that ghost now, because your reaction definitely spooked it, is going to... each of them are going to... well, one's going to attempt to possess... The one that Rovin just attacked is going to attempt to possess Rovin, and the one that possessed... Or the one that is initially went for Sir Delam Rook is going to attempt to possess him. So both of you make charisma saves, please.
Oh, I got a 12. Rovin got a 12.
And Rook got a 15.
Rook, you are now immune to that ghost's possession for 24 hours as it fails to possess you. However, Rovin
Gets entered.
has been entered. The ghost disappears.
Oh.
You see Rovin's eyes briefly glow like this wispy white.
Woohoo!
And now, so Rovin, just so you know, the ghost now controls your body but doesn't deprive you of awareness. So the ghost cannot be targeted by any attack, spell, or other effect except ones that turn undead. I probably shouldn't have said that. We don't have any clerics here anyways, it's fine. Yeah, you're possessed. So it's going to control your body, and it's going to be great.
Is it?
Yeah, and there's no saves you repeat. There are only certain conditions that need to be met in order for this possession to end.
Super.
So, the final ghost will actually attempt to make the one that's in front of Hondo is going to let out a horrifying screech, and now I need Rook and Hondo to make me wisdom saves.
Rook with a
Oh, that's another nat 20.
You said a 12, Rook?
A 12 for Rook, yes.
You are frightened of the ghost in front of Hondo to your south. And you can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of your turns, but because you are frightened of it, the frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while its source of fear is within line of sight. Oh, the creature can't willingly move closer to the source of its fear. So you don't have to actually actively run away from it, but you cannot actively move closer to it, and you have a disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks while you can see it. You're terrified of this thing. That screech must have unlocked some primal fears within you, or triggered something.
That's fine. You know what? It wants to give me the willies. I can give it the willies too. Yeah, so we'll use Phantasmal Killer against it. And like that, under my
That's
level
a badass
4s.
name. That's a great band name, Phantasmal Killer. I'm gonna make that my new album title.
And I would be casting it at the one that feared me in front of Hondo.
Yeah, so can you just read? I don't think we've actually ever experienced Phantasmal Killer. Would you mind reading us the spell?
Target a creature you can see within range 120, duration concentration to a minute. Description: you tap into the nightmares of a creature you can see within range and create an illusory manifestation of its deepest fears, visible only to that creature. The target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the target becomes frightened for the duration. At the end of each of the target's turns before the spell ends, the target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or take 4d10 psychic damage.
So
On a successful save, the spell ends.
okay,
And if I
unfortunately,
cast it at 5th level or higher, it's another 1d10.
unfortunately, it is immune to being frightened.
Okay.
Of course.
Does it take the psychic damage, though?
Yes, the frightened condition and the damage caused by the spell are separate.
All right. So it would need to take its wisdom saving throw. Let's see. The end of each of its turns, it does that, or take 4d10 psychic damage. On a successful save, the spell ends.
It fails the save with a 9. So roll that. We got 19 psychic damage. It looks like. Okay.
And then after that, let's see. Trying to see if I've got anything that would prevent oppies against me, because I need to get myself out of this guy's line of sight.
So do you take the chance?
No, I'm going to have to not for now. I think I'm just going to have to stay here, hold my ground, and let's see, that was my action anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can bonus action a non-leveled spell, correct?
You can bonus action a cantrip, yeah.
Well, hell, I can chill touch at the one in front of me at least.
Does it do cold damage?
No, it does necrotic, so at least we're going to use our cantrip to test for necrotic damage against these guys.
A 22 definitely hits. Unfortunately, it is immune to necrotic damage.
It's okay. Cost me nothing. That's the end of my action economy. I'm just going to park it here.
Okay. We are on to Hondo. Hondo, you got two evil ghosts looking at you.
If Hondo kills the one, can he still attack the other?
You have to declare which attacks you're putting on which.
Can I do them in order? Or do I have to say before I roll them?
I'm going to have you declare them now.
So then I guess the first two are against the one on my right, and the last one's against the one on the left.
So you're putting 2 on the one that's already damaged?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 21
First
hits.
21 with 16 slashing, and then an 11.
The 11 matches, so that hits as well.
Oh. Okay, so that's 6 slashing. That's 22 slashing to the one that's already injured.
Yep, the ghost dissipates, and you see you see like a small moat sort of exit from it and drop back into the river and float away.
Okay, and then I'll attack the last one with a 15, which
hits.
Will do 15 slashing damage to that one.
It does 15 slashing damage to that one. Anything else?
Oh, because I killed an enemy, I can do another attack.
Oh yeah, you get an attack.
Yeah, because of my Great Weapon Master? Yes, Great Weapon Master. So I will do that against that second one. The 23.
That's a hit.
Oh, I'm going to take the 10 because that was the first one. A 10 slashing damage.
It takes 10 slashing damage. Very nice.
All right.
Anything else on your turn, Hondo?
No, I don't think so.
We're on to Rovin's turn. Rovin, you are looking almost as if you were looking through a camera as your body is puppeted by this ghost that is possessing you, and it attempts to stab Sir Dallum Rook in the back. So I need you to make me an attack roll against Sir Dallum Rook. That's going to hit.
Sorry, it was a 24. And the damage is 28 bonus for my sneak attack and 7 piercing damage. So that would be 35 piercing damage.
So Dallum Rook, you take 35 piercing damage.
Ouch.
Sorry, not sorry.
And as a bonus action, it's going to take Rovin and disengage.
Since I'm still aware of myself, I can still speak, correct?
I don't know. Let's see. Does not deprive you of awareness, but it controls your entire body. So you are incapacitated. So no, you cannot move or speak. You're just like watching this like it's a movie right now. But it heads back to the north and ducks around the corner from the door you guys opened. And now the ghosts will finish their turn. The one in front of Sir Dallum Rook now attempts to almost take its withered hand and touch him, but a 9's not going to hit you.
No.
And the one in front of Hondo will attempt a possession. It's the last one that hasn't tried to possess. So Hondo, make me a charisma save.
I am going to use. Let's see, which one do I want to use? I'm gonna re-roll for Indomitable, so I'm gonna use my 1 Indomitable.
Yep, sounds good. Because you got a 7 looking at right now.
God damn it!
Man, these dice are terrible.
I rolled a lot of nat 20s today, so I can't really complain. I got a 9. So I'm taking that as the ghost enters me.
The ghost has entered you. Oh boy, Sir Dallum Rook. You are in a pickle. As it is now
Perhaps.
your turn.
Aren't you glad you brought us both?
The one I'm frightened of is now deceased, correct?
You can't see it anymore. It is now part of Hondo.
Oh, it entered Hondo. Okay,
yeah,
I thought
but technically you can't see it.
Fair enough.
And you're not afraid of Hondo.
You might...
Not yet.
Yeah, if they say you're about to be.
Well, anyway, let's start by taking care of the business at hand and laying my packed greatsword attacks against the ghost in front of me. Now, normally I'd have Life Drinker on, but it's useless right now, so I'm just going to leave it clicked off.
19 totally hits.
Nice job.
And a 21 definitely hits as well. Okay, so let's see. 12 plus 16 is 28.
That is correct.
This ghost also is obliterated. And you see, again, a little moat pop out from it and drop into the river Styx.
Now you have to fight the both of us, though.
Anything else on your
Well,
turn?
let's see how easy I go on, folks. Yeah, let's see. What do we want to do?
Well, unless you can dispel the ghost, you pretty much have to fuck us up.
Well, it's okay, because you just applied 35 damage pretty liberally to my hindquarters, so...
I mean, I didn't.
I mean, you did. Just your body did.
Sure, yeah.
Sounds like a job for semantics. But we're going to use our my bonus action, use my final spell slot to apply the Dex Hex to Rovin.
So, yeah, he disengaged, but you can still see him. So, yeah, it's just on. So you have disadvantage on Dex checks, Rovin.
Okay.
And then let's see. Oh, I still got move, so we can move to get nice and close and threatening.
Okay, you are now currently engaged with Rovin Tossbottom.
I am. So if you were to move away, there would be an Oppie.
Hondos, you feel your body move. And
Feel my body. Do I feel the earth move below my feet?
as it
Under my feet.
as the ghost uses dash to essentially take you right up next to Rook. but you cannot
Mhm.
do anything further.
Sure.
Rovan,
I'll let the ghost believe that.
Rovan, I would like for you to try to stab Sir Delamrook, please.
All right. Well, since it's no longer from behind, I can take a sneak attack.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. Sorry, 24.
24 will hit.
And damage is only 7.
7 piercing.
I'm starting to, well, Sir Delamrook is starting to get annoyed here.
I could imagine.
Yeah, so this is quite the situation for Sir Delamrook. Now your former companions possessed by ghosts, and it is here at the top of initiative. It's Sir Delamrook's turn as he is staring down his former compatriots that we are going to pause this combat and bring it to you next week on Hapless Heroes. Thanks everybody for listening. We're so glad you could join us on this little side quest that is totally going to play into the main story, I promise you. If you like us, you can find us on the internet. We are on such places as Twitter and Instagram at Hapless Heroes. We're on Facebook and Reddit. Just, search Hapless Heroes Podcast. But really, those places have sticky posts that are going to point you to what we feel is the best place to meet and interact with us, our Discord server. There's an invite link on most of those places. And I'm not sure if I added it to the comments of any of our Instagram posts, but I'm sure you could, find it or have that take you to our Facebook or Twitter. But we're on there all the time, especially now since we're all pretty much stuck at home. Like, we're there to socialize and hang out. A lot of us are either working at home or, we're figuring things out. It's why also we have a smaller crew as, we all deal with the reality of the, situation that the world is in right now. But we are all here for each other, and we are a wonderful community of gamers and nerds and other interests are all hanging out in that Discord server. I think we have something like 50 or some odd listeners, hanging out in there. That's not including the 12 people we know. And I just want to say, it's been great to just have, all of you guys there as this little community to hang out, talk to, share your experiences with, share your pictures of your cats, dogs, whatever. Game tales, strange stories, you name it, it's in there. Yeah, we'd love to have you as part of our growing audience. And if you really, really like us, you can leave us a 5-star review on the podcast service of your choice. Whatever podcast service takes those reviews, we want to hear your kind words, and we might even read some of those on the air and tell you that you're a 5-star human like we have in the past.
Yeah.
So just we really appreciate it. We really appreciate it. It helps us grow in the ranks. It's just a big boost for the audience that we have that continues to grow with every passing day. But if you really, really like us, you can donate to our Patreon. It's patreon.com/haplessheroes. We have a lot of awesome rewards, and I've actually been thinking about how we can extend those rewards during this trying time. We have a number of donors on there, and you guys have been so generous. So I want to say this to our current and and potentially future patrons, that not only do we have bloopers, behind the scenes audio, special Discord roles, a secret channel in there to hang out in, James's notebook, the works. I think I'm going to, and I have to add it to the site. I think I'm just going to add it even at this, one of the smallest donation levels. I'm going to try to host some kind of virtual game night for anyone in the audience who wants to join, who's contributed to the show, or else we'd have a lot of people in there, right? And maybe we'd play some Jackbox party games or something like that. I don't know. I'm going to figure out the details and try to post it on Patreon, because it's helpful sometimes to take some of this distance out of social distancing. Mm-hmm. And what better way to do that than playing silly party games where we can all just laugh with one another? So keep an eye out on there. If I'm able to throw something together, it should be on there. But if not, also just take a moment, check out the super awesome rewards. Again, it's patreon.com/haplessheroes. We appreciate all of you who've been helping sustain this show. It's helped us also, even just me get some of the extra stuff here on Roll20 and things like that to make sure that this is an awesome experience, not only for you, the listener, but also, an extra, a little something extra for our players here too, for them to reference. So, that's all because of your contributions to this show. We couldn't be more grateful.
And if you like us right now, you us, Sally Fields and the whole deal, don't touch me.
I kind of said that last week.
That's right.
Just don't touch me. No, you said wash your hands. I'm saying don't touch me.
All right, guys.
Stand 6 feet away.
So, if anything, that means everyone in the audience really, really loves us because so far, all of them have done a great job of not touching you.
Hey,
Not
thanks.
Well, I guess there's nothing left for me to do besides outro this lovely cast. So, starting on my right, question mark, we have Dave as Sir Delamrook.
Good evening.
We have John as Hondo the Immortal / Possessed.
I don't like being drunk and possessed.
And Mike as Rovan Tossbottom, also possessed.
This is not a feeling that I am used to.
And I'm Francesco. I've been your host and DM. We'll catch you next week as we continue Hapless Heroes Quarantine Edition. We love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.